Stu.
I'm Michael. We are a close-knit family. It is Wednesday, September 4th. This is Season 2, Episode 14 of A Close-Knit Family. We are a knit cast from Armstrong in the North Okanagan region of British Columbia, Canada, following my adventures as a newer knitter and our ongoing yarn and knitting addictions.
And oh my gosh, that's going to be exemplified today.
Oh my gosh.
Just a little bit. Sorry, I just noticed your shirt.
Kill 6 Billion Demons. It's
Kill 6 billion. Okay.
It's a webcomic.
I don't know if I've seen that one before.
Oh, I've worn it several times before.
I don't know why I suddenly looked over and went, oh, what's that? In the middle, you know, what else are you going to do when you start recording a video?
Kill 6 Billion Demons, a free webcomic that I highly recommend. Anyway.
Yeah. So, yeah, we've been having late summer weather.
Yes,
warm in the day, thunderstorms at night.
Yeah, there was a wicked thunderstorm through here the other night.
Yeah.
I was playing Minecraft with some of my buddies down in Lake Country, and we figured it may be time to log off when all of our power flickered at once. For those of you who would like to know, perhaps, Lake Country is, okay, well, it's a 45-minute drive, so...
We're Canadian. We speak in time to drive somewhere.
Yes. Yeah.
We don't know how far something is, but it takes this long to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
45-minute drive on highways through a city.
Lake Country's probably about 30, 40K.
Yeah.
Away.
And all of our power flickered at the same time.
So.
We figured that was time to log off.
Maybe it was time. Yeah. All right. So yeah. Speaking of being addicted to knitting. Mike and I sat down.
I keep looking at what is slightly off screen. Well,
oh my god! I know, but I just kept going.
Oh, and there's more. Oh,
I just kept going. But no, Mike and I sat down to edit my pseudo tutorial for the sweater pattern I'm putting out.
Yes.
And we sat down, and I intentionally didn't bring any knitting.
Yes.
To sit down, and we're sitting there, and Mike's getting it sit up, and in front of me is his knitting bag with his socks in it. So I pick up his knitting bag, take out his socks, and sit there, and I'm knitting on his socks.
Yeah.
While it was like, oh my gosh!
And you lamented at how bad those needles were compared to your.
They used to be my favorite needles.
Yeah, and now that you've been spoiled with
carbons.
Now that you've been spoiled with your Chow Goos and Hayas and...
Yeah, carbons. What is that? Knitter's Pride.
Yes.
Carbons.
Hi, Judy.
But I don't know, they actually stick. Like, where the joins are and stuff, they actually stick. And so, yeah. Yeah, I was like, wow, you can't knit with these.
And I've knit 3 or 4 pairs of socks on those now. So.
I've knit more than that before.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, kind of a funny thing happened when Dad and I were at the beach.
Jude just gave the camera a good bonk.
Jude says hi. Got out. Went into the river. Had a cool down, a swim. Came back up. We had our dinner, and we were, sitting there, whatever, and I decided I was going to start knitting. So I dived down into...
Judith actually bumped us into a bad shot. Excuse me, folks.
I dived down into our bag, which we'd been pulling stuff in and out of because of getting dinner out and towels and all of these things.
Dawes and I went down to Lake Country again. Anyway, yes?
And I'm searching for my glasses. And I'm asking Dad.
Yes.
He's looking at me.
Yes.
Did you see my glasses?
Yes.
I thought I put them right on top.
Yes.
And we're looking and we're searching, and all of a sudden I catch the rim of my glasses out of the corner of my eye. I had been wearing them the whole time.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that they were on the top of my head. I was wearing my glasses, looking for my glasses. I was like, oh, is this really happening? Anyway... Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other thing, I did the judging.
Yeah,
for
the IPE happened in our little break there. And
Yeah. So the Interior Provincial Exhibition.
okay,
And the general consensus around town is that everyone thinks, no one's heard the official numbers, which is another reason why we all think that the attendance was down this year.
Yeah, it was bound to happen eventually.
Yeah,
so.
well, a lot of people are saying that between the cost of getting in at the gate and then the cost of things inside and the cost, that it's become unaffordable for many people.
Yes, absolutely.
Or that people can't really, it's not just sort of we go every year, we see the same thing every year, but we go every year. It's sort of okay, been there, done that, we don't need to go because it's too much money.
Yeah, we don't need to go because it's the same things as last year.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's the case, and usually we get announcements every day. Attendance on Thursday was however many thousands of people.
Jude, come over here.
And by the end of the week, we've got overall attendance was however many thousands of people.
Yeah.
So, and I've heard no numbers this year at all. So, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, but doing the judging, I was super surprised by things that I guess people just don't know or choose not to do with their knitting. And I'm thinking, when you're presenting something for, to be judged, that you want to put your best foot forward.
Yes.
That you're gonna put your best work out there.
Yes.
And the thing that most of all that I noticed was that there was very few of the items that came in that had been blocked.
Oh, that seems like a pretty basic thing.
There was a shawl, and it looked like it was probably a great shawl, but it hadn't been blocked. So I was laying it on the table, and I'm trying to stretch it out.
Yeah, so to
see the pattern and to see what this shawl actually looks like. And I thought, man, if that's if I was knitting that and if I thought, there, it's done, I wouldn't want to wear it because all my hard work isn't showing.
Yeah.
And I'm realizing that, okay, I guess people just don't know
what blocking is.
And so I was allowed to leave sort of notes for people. And of course I said, your work is beautiful. This is lovely. I never said, this sucks.
Yeah.
Or you could have won, but you didn't block your project.
Yeah.
I just said, but it would really benefit from being blocked or from blocking, or your presentation would benefit if it had been blocked.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I was writing that on Christmas Story, the movie Christmas Story?
Yes.
Where you've got the teacher and in Ralphie's dream, and she's going, margins, F! Margins, F! And I was like that. I kept picking things up and going, blocking people! Anyway. So that's just my little, if you're going to enter something to be judged, or you're trying to show off, the work that you've done in something, and I don't mean show off, but show the work that you've put into something.
You should block it.
Block it and finish it properly. Because that was just disappointing for me. But the other thing that I was thoroughly disappointed with, and I think this has more to do with the way that the IPE takes in their what are they? Exhibits?
Exhibits, yes.
Is that the very first thing, I read the little number, category, whatever it was, 63, stranded knitting. Okay, so there's one thing there.
Yeah, there's one thing in this category.
There's one item entered. Okay, but I pick it up and I look at it and it's like, this isn't stranded knitting. It was color work.
Yes.
But it wasn't stranded knitting. And so I'm like, okay, well, what do I do here?
Yeah.
And of course it was like, this is the Armstrong Fair. First place!
Yeah.
Right?
No, yeah. What's
the point? point.
Your first place prize is like a $10 gift card to the local yarn store in this category.
And there's nothing to be gained by, sending this one person home with something that says you don't know what color work, what stranded knitting is. So then the next one was Fair Isle, which, Fair Isle, yes, there's the pattern, that's the color work part of it. Yeah. And the other part of Fair Isle is that it should be stranded.
Yes.
It was also not stranded. So I'm like, oh my God, but there was only one, so first place. And then, when I got around to the Salish one, and and I'm looking at it, and it's like, this is how Salish knitting should be, which is what the other ones had been done. And anyway, it was very disappointing. And so I'm going to talk to the organizers and say, if you're going to go to the point of breaking up the different kinds of color work, then you need to make sure those definitions are clear. To the people who are entering, so that they understand what it is that they're going to be judged on.
Yes, absolutely.
Because those 3 sweaters could have been in one category.
Yeah.
Because they were all color work, and they all had the same kind of
carries.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Their yarn was all carried the same in the back.
Yeah.
And so it was like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, so so there's something again. Yeah, if you're entering in a fair or whatever, make sure you understand what the definition of what you're entering is. Mm-hmm. Like crochet doesn't belong in the knitted section.
Yes.
Call me crazy, but I had to, take that one out of the mix. And a hat is not a shawl. I had to draw the line somewhere.
Well, yeah, that really confuses me, because you said that, at the intake for the exhibits, if the intakers notice that, this thing is very clearly in the wrong category, they can move it. Mm-hmm. And they didn't move those things. You know what? There's a whole lot of people lined up, and they're anxious to go, and it's like, what's your name? Here's your thing. Here, what go, and away they go. But and if it was something that was moving into a category that had not yet been judged, right, then we just we're like, okay, wrong category, it should be over there. I'll judge it when I get to that category. But anyway, so that was kind of interesting. Yeah. But the other thing that came out of that was I ended that day. It was a long time I was in there, because I ended up judging the knitting, the crocheting, the cross stitch, and all of the Christmas entries. And the Christmas entries. I think I knew about the crochet and cross stitch. I didn't know about the Christmas entries. And that's the other thing. I'm like, I cross stitch. I can judge cross stitch. And the first thing I want to see is the back of the cross stitch. Yeah. But everything's framed. So it's like, how, okay, well, now, anyway, it was just, and then there was a category for, like, unframed or whatever, so that you could see the back side. But anyway, But anyway, after that long day, I ended up, my legs were, like, numb. I could have, like, poked, I could have been given a shot and I wouldn't have felt a thing. So that sort of set off a week of me being unable to get around and walk much, so I didn't get to spend much time at the IPE after all of that. Yeah, that's too bad. Yay, back problems. Yeah, I was only there for like an hour and a bit on the Saturday, but that's just because I work. Yeah. And work was, well, I mean, there were some days where, okay, I could have gone in after work, but my day at work was so... Well, you were working like 10 and 12-hour days. Well, yeah. Okay, you were gone for that long. Yeah. In town, not coming home, And that's why we're late. We've both been busy. Yes. Alternately busy. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Games to Knit, Chill Games to Knit 2
Oh.
has taken a little bit of a hiatus, and that's just kind of I'm not feeling World of Warcraft right now. So I didn't really feel up to streaming that, but I figure I should probably get back into it. So I just wanted to put it out there that I'm going to try to get back into streaming Chill Games to Knit 2, and I wanted some input on what I should be streaming. My thoughts currently, I've been playing a lot of Stardew Valley recently, which is a farming game, sort of it's a farming game. You set up, you make a farm. Also, I know Skyrim is very popular. I don't think I've ever put more than 5 hours into a character, and I figure it's high time to change that.
Okay.
Yeah, or if you have any other suggestions on things to play,
comment below.
Yeah, I have most popular games, so yeah, and I wouldn't be averse to maybe acquiring one if it's really popular in requests. So yeah.
Cool. That sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're on to Yarnquisitions.
Yarnquisitions. What is that pile over there,
Holy!
Mom?
So this time we're not going to be going. This has been because somebody's
holy.
been acquiring.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. Well, I'll start with these ones. So I acquired this yarn from Unique.
Ooh.
Unique Chunky.
It's very nice.
So there's this one. It's kind of got a camo vibe to it. And this one.
Oh yeah. That's
so
nice.
Melissa was with me when I picked these up. So let me just see what it's extra fine superwash merino from Earth, hand dyed in Turkey. 60 meters to 100 grams. And this is colored, so the blue one
is
color 5003.
Okay.
And this one is 5006. Oh, and every time you buy a skein of Earth, they plant a tree in Africa.
Nice.
Okay. Okay, well then, yeah. So, knit one, plant one. In partnership with Trees for the Future, each skein of Earth Yarns plants a tree in Africa. Planting trees not only prevents soil degradation, but provides food, marketable products, and fuel wood for families, increasing their income by 400%.
Decent.
So,
that's good.
That's a nice thing. So anyway, I picked these up because our local yarn store had a big sale in conjunction with what do you call it? With IPE.
Yes.
So they were selling these for, well, a third of the regular price. These were $10 a skein. Nice. Now Melissa was with me.
Yes.
And I picked this up and I said, would Jessie like a hat out of that?
Yeah.
And she said, yeah.
Yeah.
And then she said, she picked up this and said, and I'd like a hat out of that.
Okay.
So then I had to get 2 of each so that I'd have enough yarn
for a hat. Yeah.
So I acquired those.
Nice.
I acquired those. At the same sale.
Uh-oh.
I acquired some more yarn for making a soldatna. Now the only problem is I didn't pay close enough attention and I got the yarn weight wrong on one of the skeins.
Uh-oh.
But there we go. So.
Oh wow.
I picked up these for making another soldatna.
Oh, okay.
So with purple being the sort of framing color. And then this one would be the body color.
Okay.
And with this one, I would skip doing the fleece stitch.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
We'll see. And then these two would be the colors, the other colors in the body.
Okay.
So the little arrow thingies and yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, yeah, I think this is going to be very, very nice for another soldotna.
Yeah.
I also acquired, so you may, I left it where I can't quite reach it. This is what I was going to tell you about yesterday and then I didn't.
Oh, okay.
So for those of you who've been following along, you know that I was knitting Hearten and I ran out of yarn, or I could see that I wasn't going to be able to finish it and I was going to run out of yarn.
Okay.
So yesterday...
Got more yarn!
I got 10 more balls of yarn, and so
yay!
I'm super happy about that. And it's no fault of the pattern that I'm running out of yarn. I heavily modified it because I wanted it to fit me.
Right.
And like the sizes just didn't get anywhere near me, so of course it's very hard to judge how much extra yarn you need. And if you recall, I was using 2 different colors.
Yes.
Not dye lots, colors of green. And what I figured out is that one of them must have just been a straight up mistake because they've never listed that color anywhere. Okay. Anyway, so when this came in yesterday, it turned out that it is the same, so I was just ordering green. Right? Yeah. But it's it matches one of the colors and it's the right dye lot. Oh. So, yay. So probably what's going to happen is my sleeves will end up being done in these, and they're going to be slightly darker than the rest of the sweater because the rest of the sweater has that slightly yellow or green alternated throughout it. So yeah, a little bit of quisitions going on.
Yeah. I didn't acquire anything.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, but you've been working. Okay, so I think, in the back of my mind, there's like, no, there's something else I got too. But anyway, all right.
You didn't talk about what that other lace yarn was.
Oh, good call. It's not lace; it's a DK weight.
Right, because one of them's in the wrong weight. Yes.
And it's called Lace Merino DK, which is where the lace comes from. Oh. It's superwash extra fine merino, which is the Soldotna was done in a superwash yarn. So, and we're going to talk more about the Soldotna in a minute. So this is yarn from Ella Ray. Mm-hmm. And yeah, super nice. Now there's something just, this total side note, nothing to do with anything, but handmaiden yarns, I've known of them for a very long time and just sort of like whatever. They're another yarn and they're very beautiful. Okay. And very often, I see them, they're sitting there and there's a bunch of sort of yarns grouped together and they're sold in these bunches, like not just 2 of the same color, right? But they'll be sold like this, right? And I was like, okay, well that's interesting. What if I don't want those 2 colors? Yeah. Well, so yesterday I was in the shop and they're like, oh, we got all this new handmaiden yarn. And again, I was like, well, these are great combinations. So we've like 5 yarns combined together, and I'm thinking about these things I've been wanting to knit on that need what do you call them?
The fades.
Yeah, gradients.
Gradients. Okay.
And then she says, yeah, and it's got the pattern right on it. And so all of these like packages, they all have like the label and like the pattern that you make with these groupings of yarn. And I looked at it, I was like, this is brilliant, especially for a newer beginner yarny. Because like they have right now there was one there for some thrummed mittens. Do you know what thrumming is? Thrums when they're all, the inside is like all loose fiber, so they're really puffy. Okay. They're Okay. Anyway, So it's like, okay, I don't usually talk about prices, but anyway, in this case, it was $31.
Yep.
And you've got the pattern and the yarn and the fiber, you know, to make a pair of mittens. So if you're going, I'm not quite sure, I don't know how to pick my yarn, I don't know what I want.
Yeah, just get one of those.
These little kits.
Yeah.
And I had no idea before that that's what they were.
Yeah. Now, question.
Yes.
What is Handmaiden yarn?
Handmaiden is another dyer.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sorry. Handmaiden is another dyer.
Okay.
I think I'm pretty sure she's Canadian.
Everybody's from Alberta.
Everyone's from Alberta or the East Coast.
Or the East Coast, yes.
And I think she's from the East Coast. Everyone's from Alberta or the East Coast. So yeah, anyway, that was just kind of cool. Like that, they're little kits. You just go in and take it home, and you don't have to worry about picking your colors. They've already done that for you.
Yep.
What can I make with this yarn? They've already done that for you.
Yeah.
It's great. Anyway, so there we go. Handmaiden yarns. Look a little closer at those packages. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
All right. So, foes.
Foes.
Wait. Back up. Because what I didn't What I didn't say was that this is Debbie Bliss, Rialto Heathers, DK. I think I'm in frame. I can't tell right now.
No, sorry.
And in this beautiful colorway. And the lady at the shop, she was like, oh, you came in to get that. She said, I was going to grab it when I saw it come in. Because she has been knitting with this yarn. Okay. And she was like, it's the nicest yarn to knit with. And I've been saying that all along.
Yes.
It's lovely to work with, and it feels amazing.
Okay.
When you knit it up. Anyway, but unfortunately this is also like discontinued and
yeah. That's too bad. All
that stuff. So, Debbie Bliss, Rialto Heathers. If you come across any and you're, it's a really nice yarn. Okay.
Foes.
Yay! Foes!
Foes.
I've been a busy.
You've been a very busy.
I've been a very busy camper. So, I finished my Soldotna.
Yay!
Not the one I was just showing you the yarn for. This is the one I was knitting before.
Magic time skip.
Here's my finished Soldotna.
Yes.
I'm very happy with it to a point. I'm actually going to have to frog it.
Uh-oh.
When Andrea Mowry, not Andrea Mowry, bleep that out. Caitlin Hunter.
Yes.
When Caitlin Hunter, and that's why I got little ends hanging out here. When she increased for the bigger sizes.
Yes.
Well, anyway, it's too much. Like, so she had me adding all of this.
Okay.
At the underarm.
Okay.
And that turned this into like a bell. Okay. And it's not at all, like, if I just put it on and you know, hold it like this, it looks, I really, really like the way it looks.
Yeah.
But if I let it go, there's all this extra fabric.
Yeah.
And it's just not flattering at all. Yeah. So I am going to frog it back up to the end of the color work because that's where the increases happened.
Yeah.
And
you're gonna re-knit all the fleece stitches.
And I'll re-knit all the bottom here again.
All the fleece stitches.
My favorite part of knitting this. Your favorite
part of knitting this.
Yep. So I'll have to take out the ribbing around the arms too.
Yeah.
But I'm prepared to do it because I really, really do like the way this came out. So this was made with lichen and lace, rustic heathers. That's Rialto. Oh shoot! Just let me see if I've got the ball bands. It's lichen and lace. It's been a while. It's been a while. Lichen and lace. rustic heather sport.
Okay.
So 100% wool. So this one is not superwash. And based on that, and based on the way this one fits, and how superwash grows, because this one doesn't.
Yes.
I mean, it grew a little bit, but not a lot. I'm going to be making a smaller size when I make the one with the superwash yarn.
Alrighty.
So that was, yes, faux soldatna, which now becomes a whip.
Okay.
See how that happens?
Yes, I saw that.
It's a faux and now it's a whip. Okay.
Yep.
My other faux was
This here
cowl thing. It's black.
Oh, good.
So you can't see it. Anyway, it's based on the Katniss cowl from the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
So
you can kind of see it with
the top has these welts, and then this part is done with the herringbone stitch. My little handmade wooden thing from, oh, you can't see that at all, from Ginger Snap. So yeah, this is the cat, and this was a request. My friend asked me if I would make this for her, and I knitted this up in about 2 days, and that was with a lot of ripping back and pulling out and,
but it was
and stuff.
Great big bulky yarn. So.
And unfortunately, when I washed it, it grew like big time, and I'd already, so when I was knitting it, this part was about this big.
Yeah.
So it grew
a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
Now my girlfriend was away, so I had to wait for her to get back, and I was like, okay, here it is. I think it's going to be like huge. And yeah, absolutely huge on her. So I'm going to be frogging this, which is going to be an absolute bear to frog because of the, it's a single ply bulky yarn, so it's all fuzzy and stuck together, and the herringbone stitch is kind of, and this is going to be a nightmare to pull out, but I'm going to do that and reknit it. So this also that became a whip. Okay. Won't talk about that in the other one. Oh, faux. Melissa, look away. Okay, you already told me you won't look away, so you're you're no fun. I told her, I asked her if she'd seen it. She said, I'm not going to look away. So this is the tank top that I have been knitting for my daughter. And I haven't blocked just the ribbing edges on it. And honestly, I don't really feel a need to, because the rest of it's been blocked. Yeah. So it's got these little split. So this is Cargo by Kim Hargreaves.
Yes.
It's got these little split hems. I did shorten it just because I know the kind of things Melissa likes to wear. It's got super stretch, so it's going to be a nice sort of tight fitting. Yeah. Negative ease kind of a thing, but it's just so beautiful, and it is such an easy stitch pattern. Yeah. So easy.
I think you've spoken about that in the past.
So easy. And so this is just, I guess, my way of saying and trying to be encouraging and saying, just because something looks complicated or looks a bit harder.
Yeah. Probably easy.
Read the stitch, like look, get your hands on the stitch pattern. Yeah. And it's really very, very nice. And it was knit flat, so 2 pieces. And again, like it's just like 2 flat pieces, and then you do the ribbing around the arms, and then like it's really not a hard thing. And then mattress stitch together at the sides, and again, you know, like it looks lovely. The mattress stitching. Can you even see, where is it?
Can't even see it.
The mattress stitching is, okay, it's right in the, right in the center there. Yeah. So you can kind of see, like, it's, I guess it's kind of becomes like a bit of a double line there or whatever. Yep. But yeah, just really, really nice. Yeah. And
I would almost call that fauche. Faux brioche.
no, it's not even close to brioche.
No, but like faux, fake brioche. Because to me, that kind of looks like brioche.
No. If you matched up brioche side by side with this, they're not at all similar.
Okay.
Like, really.
Okay.
I mean, there is such thing as like a faux brioche.
Okay.
Which is kind of what you're already doing.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was my other faux. I've just been like fauxing away here. Well, it's been 2 weeks, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that won't be getting frogged and turning into a whip.
That's good. Alrighty. That moves us on to whips. Whips.
Do you want to talk?
Sure, I can talk. So, I finished the body on Ursa. The body, I've now bound off the body. And so here it is. And is that the backside? That's the backside.
It doesn't matter, you can show the backside.
Yep, there's the front. So yeah. And I did have this, I did try this on Robin, who this is for, the other day. I didn't get a picture of it though, and I'm kicking myself for that, but Jude's been playing with it. Yeah, so now I just gotta do the sleeves, because sleeves were requested. And yeah. Yeah,
very nice.
This is good. I like this.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, nope, that's super, super nice. And
yes.
Robin loves it. She's so excited.
Yeah. I think she's mostly excited that I'm knitting her a sweater, and this just happens to be a very good sweater to knit for her. So. Yay! Yeah, so that's my whip.
Okay. Because the socks, even though I knit a few rounds on them, they're still not finished.
Still socks. They're almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
You two were commenting on how weird, oh yeah, I guess one thing I will say about this, so the amount that you saw me there, that was, about one of those huge skeins of Cascade yarns.
Yeah, Cascade Ecological.
Cascade Eco, yeah, I want to say Cascade Eco Plus or something, but yeah. So then I had to, ball my other skein.
Yeah, Eco Plus, you're right.
And... So,
yeah.
So my balls are lopsided again.
Your balls are lopsided again.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh, I hate it when that happens.
Yeah. I mean, they still function the same, so.
Oh goodness! And I am getting closer to the end of my current pair of socks.
Ooh.
So since I last saw you, I was working on my gusset increases.
Mm-hmm.
So there are the gusset increases. I then did my heel turn and my heel flap with a slip stitch heel. And I've carried on up and I got tired of knitting right about there. So I am putting in my 1x1 rib cuff. Mm. So, this is the pattern called Because Mom Told Me to.
Yeah.
Which is my toe up, 2 at a time.
Heel flap and gusset.
Heel flap and gusset.
Recipe.
So it starts with, because I realized we've never really talked about this. So it starts with Judy's Magic Cast On.
Yes.
So for anyone who hates doing Kitchener stitch, this is why I love doing toe up socks.
Yes.
So, Judy's Magic Cast On, perfectly round, can't tell where it begins or ends, toe. Increases on alternate rows.
Yep.
Until you get up to your number of rows that you want. Knit out until you're 3 inches short of the length of the foot.
Yep. Then... start increasing one side.
Start increasing and doing your gusset increases again on every second row.
On the heel side only though.
Yeah. On either side. Then begin your heel turn, and this is just you knit across to where you've marked your original number of stitches.
Yep.
make a double stitch or do a wrap and turn, whatever, and go back again. And then when you come back to one stitch before your double stitch. You go back and forth until you get down to about 10 or 11 stitches. This is literally the pattern.
Yeah. And it's available for free on Ravelry.
It's available for free. And then you begin doing your slip stitch heel, picking up all the stitches that you increased in the gusset.
Yep.
And then you join it all up again and continue knitting in the round. So there's no picking up stitches because those stitches that you're joining back in, they're live stitches.
Yeah.
You just knit two together and go back the other way.
Yeah.
I honestly can't think of an easier way. I'm all about easy.
Yep.
And this has, I mean, the scariest part of this is Judy's Magic Cast On, and when you watch the tutorials for that.
Once, twice.
I've got the link for it on the pattern.
Yes. Didn't Very Pink Knits do?
Was it Very Pink Knits who did it? Probably, because she's amazing.
Yeah.
I use this cast on as much as I can in life because it's an easy cast on.
It's an easy provisional.
Easy provisional cast on, and or for Anyway, so because Mom told me to, and the yarn, the striped yarn is from Mud Punch.
Yep.
Shoot, I can't remember the colorway. And the blue yarn in the toe is from Riverstone Yarns. They're out around, they're in the Kootenays.
Okay.
So that is a whip. So we now know that I have the Soldatna.
Yep.
Is a whip.
Yep.
The cowl.
Yep.
Is a whip.
Yep.
The socks are so close to being finished, but they are a whip. And of course, because now I have yarn and know that I'll be able to finish it, Hearten!
Yay!
So Hearten is back!
Yay!
So these are the fronts, the two fronts of Hearten. I have the back is also finished. So I'm working up right now, and I've started the armhole shaping. On both sides, and I've said it many, many times before. I am in love with knitting this and with so this is the two colors alternated all the way through.
Yeah.
And then when I do the sleeves, they'll probably end up being a little bit darker because they will just be the one colorway. But every row I knit on this, I stop and go, oh, isn't that nice?
Yeah.
And it feels fantastic. And so this is Hearten by Kim Hargreaves.
Yep. It is very
heavily
nice.
modified in order to fit a larger frame. And that is also a whip.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yay!
Holy crap!
Holy crap. Holy crap. We had a whole week of stuff to catch up on.
Whew.
Okay.
And I did a little knitting because I wasn't getting up and around on my legs because my legs were going numb.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay.
All right, so Mike.
Hi.
What do you bring to the table?
Well, I bring more concept in board gaming today, and I wanted to represent that concept with a game that I've already brought to the table before, Race for the Galaxy Revised 2nd Edition. So I bring this up because I wanted to talk a little bit about steep learning curves in board games and how sometimes, steep learning curves can be very daunting, but this game, I think, really exemplifies a steep learning curve that is really not, and in fact, quite worth it. So I finally had the chance to play this the other day with my boys down in Lake Country. And I had never played it before, so I didn't have any sort of intuition of, an easier way to explain the rules, so I was just reading directly from the rulebook to them. And everybody by the end of it was just like, what is happening? And then we played through a round. One round. This is, they say in the rulebook this will take, 12 rounds-ish. We played through one round, and by the end of it, they were like, this game is incredible. This is such a good game. But that initial learning curve had them feeling very, scared to dive in, frankly. But by the end of the first round, it was everything clicked, and there were still a couple points where we weren't quite sure of how things were supposed to apply and what we were paying attention to, but it was all worth it, because we realized we got into the game, realized it was amazing, had a very fun evening playing it. And in the end, the three of us were within 2 points of each other. All three, I think I had 21 points. The other two guys had 22 points at the very end of it. So it's also, it's a very balanced game, and it is very good. So what I'm trying to say here is, even if a game looks like it has a steep learning curve, and if your friend is sitting at the other side of the table explaining the rules, and you're just lost, just try getting into the game.
Mm-hmm. Well,
give it a try.
That's like Catan.
Yeah.
Because Catan, if you just sit down and read the rules, it's like, what?
Yeah. What is the relevance of any of this?
What?
Yeah.
But as soon as you play,
it all
round,
clicks.
it's like, oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's almost worth it to...
Yeah.
I don't know if it would be better if they just said, okay, put out all this stuff, and then this is... But no, you have to explain what everything is.
Well, you see, that's one of the reasons I like the game Love Letter. Because Love Letter has Love Letter has a tutorial. And to play the tutorial, you play the game.
Yes. Yes.
And...
Yes.
And it has, cards will appear in the decks that'll say, okay, so now you should understand the concept of this. Here's a new concept that we're introducing. Yeah. And you will see that in the next couple cards that you're going to draw.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, yes, but we always say that to people when we start them out on Catan.
Yeah,
it's like, the things they need to know. Yeah. And then it's like, I know, but when we start playing, it's going to all come into play.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, so cool. Yeah. All right. Well, you know what? That's a good heads up, because a few times you've tried to get me to play something and my eyes glaze over and I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I've more and more found that this kind of game, as opposed to Trouble.
Yes. Yeah.
It's worth it to dive into some of these games that are a bit more complicated.
As my friend Matt says, the really crunchy games.
Yeah. And then there's telestrations.
Which you just draw penises.
When you play the After Dark version.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Good. We'll just go with that. All right.
God,
cool.
There's
good advice.
There's a party pack for telestrations that is up for 12 players.
Oh no.
And I keep eyeing it up, but every time I think, tonight I could really use telestrations for up to 12 players, someone there has it anyway. So.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, we should get that.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay. Events from around the world. They're everywhere. Okay. On Saturday, September 7th, it's the Reykjavik Yarn Crawl.
I think we've talked about this.
Oh, did I already bring this up?
No, last year.
Maybe. Well, I've mentioned other stuff in Reykjavik.
Yes. Okay, yes. Then,
you probably just used to hearing me say Reykjavik. Anyway.
Reykjavik Yarn Crawl, September 7th.
In Reykjavik, Iceland. Yeah.
Okay.
Go to Iceland. Get some yarn. Okay. And on Saturday, September 14th, it's the Prairie Fiber Festival in Lacombe, Alberta.
Ooh.
Yes. And on Saturday, September 14th, I feel like I'm just like...
You're at the news desk.
It's the Knitters Fair at the Kitchener Auditorium in Kitchener, Ontario. Canada.
How apropos.
It's the
It's the
Kitchener
Kitchener
Auditorium
in Kitchener.
I know,
and
right?
One of the things
It's like they planned it.
Yes.
It's the Kitchener. Oh no, it's the Knitters Fair.
Yes, the Knitters Fair.
Should be the Kitchener Knitters Fair
In Kitchener.
at the Kitchener
Auditorium in Kitchener, Ontario, where everybody will be doing the Kitchener Stitch.
Ah!
That's what I was talking about. That's what I meant.
So smart. Okay.
Did you not pick up on that right away?
Well, I knew Kitchener Stitch, but I didn't realize that's what you were putting together.
Okay. Anyway, I think that brings us to the end of another episode of Close Knit Family. Thank you so much for joining us today. Please remember here on YouTube to like, comment, and subscribe. Really helps us out. And hey, comment below what I should be playing on the next Chill Games to Knit too, because I need some ideas. Join us on, follow us on Instagram, Close Knit Family Knitcast. Join us on Ravelry. All the information for that will be on the end card and in the description. And as always, keep your knitting close and your family closer. Bye.